When most people think of Japanese watches, the first thing that comes to mind is affordable, but that hasn't been true for a long time. Today, Japan is producing everything from incredible everyday watches to some of the finest luxury timepieces in the world. Brands like Grand Seiko, Citizen Seiko, Casio, Orient Star, and independent makers such as Kurono Tokyo continue to prove why Japanese watchmaking is respected around the globe. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 Japanese watches of 2026. This isn't just about price or popularity. It's about the watches that have stood out for their craftsmanship, innovation, design, and overall impact this year. Let's get into it. Number 10, Casio G-Shock M RGB2100. Most people hear G-Shock and think of a rugged watch that can survive just about anything. The MRGB2100 changes that perception completely. This isn't just another G-Shock, it's the highest expression of what Casio is capable of. The MRG line takes the toughness G-Shock is known for and combines it with the kind of finishing and craftsmanship you'd normally expect from a luxury watch. The case is made from titanium, making it both lighter and stronger than stainless steel, and every component is finished to an incredibly high standard. It's the kind of watch that proves Casio isn't only competing in the affordable market anymore, it can build a true luxury sports watch. Inside, you get Casio's tough solar technology, multi-band 6 radio timekeeping, Bluetooth connectivity, and world time. None of those features are there just to fill a spec sheet. Together, they mean the watch stays accurate, charges itself with light, and automatically keeps the correct time wherever you are. That's exactly why it earns a place on this list. It offers something no other Japanese brand does. A luxury watch that's built around advanced digital technology instead of a traditional mechanical movement. Expect to pay around $5,000 to $6,000 depending on the version. It's expensive for a G-Shock, but once you understand what goes into it, you begin to see why collectors hold the MRG line in such high regard. At number 9 is the Kurono Tokyo Anniversary. Kurono Tokyo isn't a brand that releases dozens of watches every year. Every release is limited, carefully thought out, and that's one of the reasons collectors pay so much attention whenever a new model drops. The anniversary edition stays true to that philosophy. It pairs a beautifully finished dial with a classic case design that feels elegant without trying too hard. Inside is a dependable automatic movement, while the sapphire crystal and meticulous finishing give it the feel of a much more expensive watch. What really earns it a place on this list isn't just the specifications, it's the attention to detail. Every element, from the hands to the dial layout, feels deliberate, making it one of the most distinctive Japanese watches released in 2026. Because production is limited, prices usually fall between $1,800 and $2,500. Depending on availability. At number 8 is the Orient Star Contemporary Date with the blue dial, reference RE-AU0109L. Orient Star has always lived in the shadow of Seiko and Citizen, but watches like this make you wonder why. It doesn't rely on a famous name or flashy marketing. Instead, it lets the quality speak for itself. The blue sunburst dial is what really draws you in. As the light moves across it, the color shifts beautifully, giving the watch a look that's far more refined than you'd expect at this price. The polished hands and markers, along with the power reserve indicator at 12 o'clock, add just enough detail without making the dial feel busy. Inside is Orient Star's in-house automatic F6N43 movement, with a 50-hour power reserve, while the sapphire crystal helps keep the watch looking sharp through everyday wear. You'll usually find it selling for around $400 to $500, making it one of the best value mechanical watches to come out of Japan. If you've been overlooking Orient Star, this watch is a good reminder that some of the best Japanese watches don't always come from the brands everyone talks about. At number 7 is Seiko's latest Presage Cocktail Time series. The HCB001, HCB002, and HCB003. The Cocktail Time collection has been one of Seiko's most recognizable dress watch lines for years, and these new models build on that reputation without losing what made the originals so popular. What really sets these models apart is the new crushed ice dial. It has a textured finish with a soft gradient that changes as the light hits it, giving each watch a different personality. The blue HCB001 feels crisp and refined. The green HCB002 has a richer, more modern look, while the brown HCB003 brings a warmer, vintage-inspired feel. Seiko also trimmed the case down to 38.5 millimeters, making these watches more comfortable on a wider range of wrists. Inside is the 4R35 automatic movement with a 41-hour power reserve, manual winding, and hacking seconds. It isn't Seiko's most advanced movement, but it's proven itself over the years as a reliable everyday caliber. These models retail for around $475, though prices can vary slightly depending on where you buy them. If you're after a dress watch that looks far more expensive than it is, the latest Presage Cocktail Time series is still one of the easiest recommendations in Seiko's lineup. At number 6 is the Citizen Tsuyosa NJ0151-88M with the ice blue dial. The Tsuyosa has become one of Citizen's biggest success stories, and it's easy to see why. It combines the look of a much more expensive integrated bracelet sports watch with a price that's still within reach for most enthusiasts. The ice blue sunburst dial gives this watch a fresh, modern look without trying too hard. Pair that with the clean case design and the integrated bracelet, and you get a watch that feels just as comfortable with a t-shirt as it does with a button-down shirt. Inside is Citizen's automatic caliber 8210, offering around 42 hours of power reserve. It features a 40mm stainless steel case, sapphire crystal, a date display with a magnifier, and 50 meters of water resistance, making it a solid everyday mechanical watch. Although the official retail price is higher in some markets, you'll usually find the NJ0151-88M selling for around $240 to $350, making it one of the best values in Japanese watchmaking. If you want an automatic watch with great styling, dependable performance, and a price that doesn't break the bank, the Citizen Tsuyosa continues to be one of the strongest choices you can make in 2026. At number 5 is the King Seiko Vanac collection. King Seiko has made a strong comeback, and the new Vanac collection proves it's not just relying on nostalgia. While it keeps the sharp, angular design that made the original Vanac models memorable, everything else feels modern, from the finishing to the movement and overall presence on the wrist. The collection includes standout references like the SLA083 with its bold purple dial, the SLA087 in blue, and the limited edition SLA091. Each one has its own personality, but they all share the same distinctive case design and beautifully finished dials. Inside is Seiko's new caliber 8L45 automatic movement, offering a 72-hour power reserve and improved accuracy. The watch features a 41mm stainless steel case, a box-shaped sapphire crystal, and 100 meters of water resistance, making it just as practical as it is eye-catching. Depending on the model, the King Seiko Vanac collection typically starts at around $3,300, while limited editions can cost more. If you've always admired Grand Seiko but want something with a bolder personality and a different design language, the King Seiko Vanac collection deserves a serious look. At number 4 is the Seiko Prospex LXSNR045. This is the kind of watch that proves a professional dive watch doesn't have to sacrifice refinement. The SNR045 combines serious diving capability with the level of finishing you'd normally expect from a much more expensive luxury watch. Its textured green dial, inspired by Antarctic moss pillars, gives the watch a distinctive look without being over the top. The lightweight titanium case makes it surprisingly comfortable for its size, while the Zaratsu polished surfaces add an extra touch of craftsmanship that sets it apart from most tool watches. Inside is Seiko's Spring Drive Caliber 5R65, delivering a 72-hour power reserve and the smooth gliding seconds hand that Spring Drive is known for. It comes in a 44.8mm titanium case, features a curved sapphire crystal, and offers 300 meters of water resistance, making it a serious dive watch in every sense. Only 500 pieces were produced, so it's not a watch you'll come across every day. When it was released, it retailed for around $6,000, although prices today depend on availability and condition. At number 3 is the Citizen AQ4091-56M. This is one of those watches that quietly goes about its business without chasing attention. While many luxury brands focus on mechanical movements, the Citizen takes a different approach by delivering incredible precision through its eco-drive technology. The indigo washi paper dial is what makes this watch so distinctive. Made from traditional Japanese washi paper, it has a texture and depth that changes with the light, giving the watch a character that's difficult to capture in photos. The 40mm super titanium case also keeps it incredibly light on the wrist while offering excellent scratch resistance. Inside is Citizen's eco-drive caliber, a 060, accurate to plus or minus 5 seconds per year. It also features a perpetual calendar, 100 meters of water resistance, and once fully charged, it can run for around 7 months or up to 1.5 years in power-save mode. Depending on the retailer and market, the AQ4091-56M typically sells for around $2,500 to $3,000. At number 2 is the Grand Seiko White SLGA009. The White Birch is one of Grand Seiko's most recognizable watches, and the dial is the reason why. Inspired by the white birch forest surrounding the Shinshu Watch Studio in Japan, it has a deeply textured surface that changes character depending on how the light hits it. It's the kind of dial you can keep looking at and still notice something new. The watch is built around Grand Seiko's Evolution 9 design, which improves comfort and legibility while maintaining the sharp finishing the brand is known for. The 40mm stainless steel case, dual curved sapphire crystal, and beautifully finished bracelet give it a refined look without feeling overdone. Inside is the spring drive caliber 9RA2, offering an impressive 120-hour, 5-day power reserve and an accuracy of plus or minus 10 seconds per month. It also features 100 meters of water resistance and a screw-down crown. The White Birch typically sells for around $9,000 to $10,000, depending on the retailer and market. At number 1 is the Grand Seiko Tentagraph SLGC007. Grand Seiko waited a long time before making an automatic chronograph, and the result was worth it. The Tentagraph isn't just another sports chronograph. It brings together high beat performance, impressive power reserve, and the level of finishing Grand Seiko is known for. One of the highlights is the snow blue dial, inspired by Mount Iwate in winter. The textured pattern gives the dial a real sense of depth, while the black chronograph subdials create a strong contrast that makes the watch easy to read. The case is made from high-intensity titanium with a ceramic bezel, so despite its size, it feels noticeably lighter on the wrist. Grand Seiko Official Boutique Plus One inside is the Caliber 9 SC5, Grand Seiko's first mechanical high-beat automatic chronograph movement. It beats at 10 times per second, delivers a 72-hour power reserve even with the chronograph running, and features a 43.2mm case. Box-shaped sapphire crystal, 100 meters of water resistance, and a screw-down crown. Grand Seiko Official Boutique Plus One, the SLGC007 retails for around $14,700 in the US, placing it among Grand Seiko's flagship sports watches. And that's my top 10 Japanese watches of 2026. Whether your budget is a few $100s or a few thousand, there's no shortage of incredible watches coming out of Japan. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.